Unusual deck choices. All right. This one's tarot, and the rest are oracle. So we're going to go see what's what. This is Angels and Ancestors, Mystical Shaman, the Past Lives deck, Hidden Realms, and Ancient Something or Other tarot. Maybe it's the Ancestral Past tarot. Could be that. All right. These honkers are big, but you can't trim them down. They're just too big and too beautiful. Persecution and Inquisition, biblical. This is tribal. Tribal separateness. And wisdom. There's like a magical wisdom. There's a gift in here of wisdom of foretelling. It's reminding me of the unicorn in the Bible story here on the unicorn, where Noah gathers all the animals into the ark, but the unicorn goes around frolicking and playing so it doesn't make the ride. It's that. But it's that knowing and having the foresight because of something that was difficult. But the foresight is there, but people don't believe that this is even a true deal. They don't think that you can have this kind of a gift. Like they wouldn't believe in unicorns. They wouldn't believe that unicorns ever were. But you would believe unicorns were and be like, okay, of course they were. So, all right. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands. This is desert lands. Very, very desert lands. Desert lands and sacred circles. There's an energy exchange that goes on between you and whatever the animals that are near you. There's lots of bear energy. Bear, 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 bear. Bear. Kodiak. This looks Tibetan, but it feels more Alaskan. I don't know which is it. It's high peaks, snowy mountains, cold times. A strange people by what we would consider today, and that's not a judgment. It's just an unusual path. Not much reference of them in the history that I was raised with, but not much reference of them in like the standard Judeo-Christianity, blah, 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 that kind of, no. It's more Inuit, more native than that. There's deserts and high mountains. Really weird. Alaska doesn't have deserts, but it's kind of that energy. I don't know where that would be. There's some kind of arrangement with you and the bear people. What is that about? It's like a nomadic life that you would go in cycles. So the period where you would go to the place where there was the, you know, how bears go in the cave and hibernate for a season and they come out when the weather's changed again. It's like that. Your people would go nomadic, holy mountain, and then water. and then sacrifice. This is quite the transit you would do. If you have the holy mountain where you would go, where you guys would go and get your bear people magic, whatever you call that. This is where this transition would happen. The water was there. It was like a hidden, perhaps, like lake or body of water. You guys knew where that was. It was like a regular place you'd go. The sacrifice didn't feel like it was like on the personal level. It was in the trek, in the going. Now, in the hidden realms, it sometimes refers to Avalon and things like that. It feels like Avalon could be accessed and seen, but there were mists that sometimes surrounded it and shrouded it. It feels like that. It doesn't feel like it's specifically Avalon, but it feels like that's what this place is. You would need to know your way there. You need to be shown by generation of how to get into there. The bear people. You are the bear people. The spirit whisperer is here. This is where you were. The Queen of Light. And the River Queen. I think this is how you would be, closer to how you would be seen. As her and as her. Your skin has more pigment, darker pigment. Not that it's a big deal, but informationally that's what's coming through. So this Queen of Light and this River Queen, you had illumination, you had knowledge, you had magic knowledge, like of mermaids, of unicorns, of that kind of thing. The Spirit Whisperer, you would understand. You would tell stories and give wisdom, impart wisdom that had been passed down, almost in a fashion of a high priestess, but they wouldn't have called it such. They would have called you something like Bear Woman or something. It would be such that if you were to encounter a bear in the woods, the bear would have gone with you, much like the lion in the Strength card of Tarot does. The bear would have gone with you. You wouldn't have to fight for your life against the bear. The bear would recognize you as one of their own. Very intriguing. Like, you know how people have pets, like we have pets, cats and dogs and whatnot. You would probably have bear cubs or no bear families, and they'd be like, oh yeah, you're back, you're around here. The bear people, very powerful. And nomadic, very nomadic. Spiral Dancer and Eagle King. Okay. Circuitous route perception. This eternal temperance connected to the infinite perception right here. Spiral Dancer. That's this. The Eagle King. The big picture angelic help. This is what you would know. Now look at how this one presents. Now, I don't know whether you were African American, Native American, Indian, Hindu, what. You weren't as pasty as I am. There was something definitely about your people, your tribal people. And I don't know that I would say you were American Indian either. It's not like, you know, the USA doesn't have the monopoly on bears. So I don't know where this was. But there was definitely a cultural thing with its own rich traditions, with its own sacredness, this, that, the other. And it was very, very different from it was like hidden in purpose, purposefully hidden. Much happiness. You'd go where the sun was. The sun was important for you guys. Sun, happiness, and again, the water guardian. Look at this. Again, there's sun and water. There was something you guarded. It's like this lake. I'm getting this big lake. I don't know if it's Great Lakes, but that does come to mind. Odd, interesting. It's this big mountain and big lake. Now, I'm in Salt Lake. We have big mountain, we have Salt Lake, big lake, and we have desert. But I don't think that that's the place. But it would be recognizable as something like that. The reason you were the water guardian is because you were fluid. You had the fluidity of the infinite connection and understood the magic. You understood how to do medicine things. You understood how to bring story forward. You understood the healing power of words, and you would do spells. You were rich in words and rich in knowledge of where to travel. You were Doolittle. You had I don't know what they call the gift, but the Doolittle gift, where you talk with the animals, you understand them, you relate. You would see the signs and know nature so well that you could read. If there was a missing bird on a migrational path, you would know it. Mostly you would talk with the bears, but you would know the animal kingdom well enough that you could converse or read it as clearly as you can read a book. Very strange. Where else? Guardian of the Night Tarot. Now this is all animals through here, but let's see what we got here.
I love the waters, oceans, lakes, always drawn to it. Animals too.
Uh-huh. 10 of Cups. Huge abundance. Look at this. Will you show her this? This is all of those crazy animals. Like, you know in the old Disney Snow White where she sings and all the animals come in and they're all attracted because she's singing blah, blah, blah. It's that energy. It's that flavor and feel. I'm looking for another deck. Hang on for 1 second. There it is. The Curious Creatures Tarot. I want to see if we can get a little bit more about what was going on with you in your personal world. This set apartness, this particular lifetime we're looking at is not about romance. It's about mission. About your mission as in how you carry the traditions and teach the traditions, the oral traditions, the story traditions, the song traditions, the healing traditions. All of this. Medicinal tradition with the animals. You came from a strong line, but the line that you came from was bound or tethered. There was some kind of restraint put upon your people. And so the way that you had been with the animals, the way you had been so free and nomadic was getting hemmed in, getting penned in, getting confined. I'm getting trade routes, travel routes, nomad routes that you would have taken. We're getting consolidated, evaporated, eaten up. You understood the magical and you understood the elements. You understood this was part of the dance, but it made you angry a little bit. Made you angry a lot in some regards because things were changing and the fire magic and the ways that you did things changing. Encroachment is what I'm getting. Like when humans encroach on things or we build a city and now suddenly the raccoons and the wolves and everything else is displaced. It felt like that to you and your people. Again, bear. You had to move away. There was a longing and you knew you couldn't go to the same places. But look at this land here. Will you show her the land in this picture? There were cliffs, deserts, oceans, seas, and shores. There was something about that kind of a land. You had to transition. You had to leave one and go towards a different. People followed where you led in this particular lifetime because they knew that you knew the stories. So here you have the staff of knowledge, and also you have the illumination and the light, the magical insight, the magical way of seeing. You knew where to take them to resettle, reestablish. Some of the traditions would have been different because of the requirement of geography. There was a balancing that had to be done and take a little bit of time. Why did you carry such things? There may have been spice routes, incense trade, things that are the civilized people, I don't know if they're colonizers. They probably were of a form, but they're not what I would normally think of as the colonizers. This is way back before America or England, way back before any of that. Way back. It's like wherever these routes and trade routes would be, there would be spices and important things, whether it's frankincense or what, I'm not sure, but there's spices, and it's like you would be on the Silk Road. On the Silk Road. You would know the value of different things along the Silk Road, but it changed how you guys traded. You had to trade more with air things. More with air things. You had to retreat into this air land. Not so much fiery desert. I think you went more into the mountains, and you'd seasonally come down and you would trade whatever it is. You'd offer it up. There would be celebrations and certain times that you would come. This isn't where you were in rainforest or jungle or anything, but there's red feathers also. I don't know what that's about. The red feathers in here are asking to be mentioned. Yes, Silk Road trading. Like, look at this. You've got Silk Road trading. You've got the zebra and the salamander going on here. Salamander, fire energy. Zebra, who knows? All kinds of different redefining, different ways of going about blending what is magical and mysterious and strange, and having that ability to blend in and move about how you need to. It's not a horse of a different color. It's changing of the stripes that need to be evolved in how your culture grew. Anything else? Showing you as High Priestess energy, showing you as having the feathers, knowing that it's like you were the person that had the medicine, the magic, the High Priestess knowledge in this bridge of times, when one period of time ended and the other was about to begin, when one way of doing trade and doing business and so forth was ending and the other was about to begin. And you had the wisdom, and you kept the gate there. You had the knowledge, you were fair about it. You didn't let your emotions get all screwy. You were fair-minded. You thought ahead. There was pride in what you brought forward. The red feathers are important. The sacrifice. The sacrifice of the old ways, but carrying the lessons and the importance of the lesson. So it's like, if there's a story and the moral of the story, you kept the moral of the story, even if the figures or the dynamics of the stories changed a little bit. The universal kernel of truth that was the moral of the story, you knew how to teach and pass down and it shift in a way that served, that still brought illumination. Yeah. Yeah. No more could you be this. This is what you outgrew. This carrying things over deserts, over deserts, over deserts. Something else shifted. And it was just the nature of how history would have gone. The Silk Road keeps coming up over and over and over. Trade routes, travel, exchanging things. Exchanging pigments. Pigments and incense, for whatever reason. Colors. Painted colors and incense were some of the things that you guys would trade. That's where it says to stop. That's where it says to stop. I'd look up bear people. I'd look up what red feathers mean. I have no idea. The zebra, changing the stripes, being your own marvelous creature, but having the magic knowledge that was in this culture as well. In times of contrast and upbridging. That's who you were. That's what it was about. That's what you did. It wasn't so much about anything to do with husband or children or anything. It was your position in this role. They might not call it high priestess or shaman or whatever, but it is the elder, the ancient, the keeper of the stories, the keeper of the medicine, the keeper of the wisdom. That's what it is. Wow. That's just amazing. That's what I've got. Yeah. Hopefully that is something that is helpful. I don't know. It's like the chameleon ability, the changing of the stripes. That's the gift that you can blend or fit in anywhere if you want to. You know how to be in and among many different peoples, and how to get along with many different peoples. That has transcended and come through. The ancient wisdoms will still be there too, but it might be latent. It might be like you haven't accessed it yet. That's what I got. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. If you find yourself in teaching positions or anything of that sort, don't be surprised one bit. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Positions of leadership that are unusually gained wouldn't surprise me at all. That's where you would see some crossovers coming through.
Good deal.
Yeah.